A top Republican insider just blew the lid off Vice President JD Vance's not-so-secret plan to slide his way into the presidency. And let's just say, the MAGA machine is suddenly looking a lot less unstoppable. Now, if you happened to tune out over the weekend, I don't blame you. Headlines have been relentless lately, and sometimes you just need a break. But here's what went down. JD Vance hit the circuit on the Sunday political talk shows, delivering his usual cocktail of Trump-era talking points mixed with a heavy dose of outrage. And when pressed with real questions, like one about Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Vance did what he always does: dodge, deflect, and double down.
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago and elsewhere, George. I think that it's disgraceful, and I think that he absolutely should suffer some consequences for the fact that there are thousands of innocent Chicagoans who are dead because he failed to do his job.
It's really a yes or no question. Do you believe he's committed a crime?
George, you're going to keep on asking this question. I'm going to keep on telling you that Governor Pritzker has failed to do his job. He should suffer some consequences. Whether he's violated a crime, ultimately, I would leave to the courts, but I certainly think that he has violated his fundamental oath of office. That seems pretty criminal to me. I'd leave it to a judge and jury to decide whether he's actually violated the crime.
And if you thought that was wild, just wait until you see the Republican backlash. Stick around. So here's what happened. J.D. Vance wasn't content with dodging George Stephanopoulos' straightforward question about Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a man, it should be noted, who hasn't actually broken the law. And last I checked, that's what defines a crime. But instead of giving a clear answer, Vance danced around it. And that's when Stephanopoulos pressed him on something even bigger: White House border official Tom Homan. Now, this is the same Tom Homan who was caught on FBI tape accepting a $50,000 bribe in exchange for government contracts if Trump returned to the White House last fall. Yes, it's on tape. So why hasn't Homan been arrested or charged? Well, because Emil Bouv, Trump's former attorney, now conveniently working inside the Justice Department, stepped in and shut the probe down. In plain English, Homan was bailed out by a friend in high places. And when Vance was asked about that bribe, an actual crime, mind you, he got a lot more than he bargained for.
George, I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility, because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
Damn, you have to admit, that was satisfying to watch. Stephanopoulos actually did what a journalist is supposed to do: push back, demand real answers, and not let J.D. Vance skate by on empty talking points. Honestly, I can't be the only one applauding that. This is the kind of accountability we need more of, and I hope other journalists are taking notes. But here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not just the press calling Vance out anymore. One key Republican has stepped forward, pulling back the curtain on Vance's real master plan. And trust me, once you hear this, the stakes look very different. Check this out. Former George W. Bush campaign strategist Rick Wilson, a lifelong Republican and longtime critic of Donald Trump, took to his Substack this morning with a sharp critique of J.D. Vance, calling out both his naked ambition and his lack of media savvy. Wilson writes that Vance watches and probably even smells Trump rotting from the inside out, knowing the 3 Ds, Donnie, dementia, and depends, have already put him on an inside track for the presidency even before 2028. He sees not just the decline of Trump himself, but the inevitable collapse of a MAGA movement built entirely around him. In that same column, Rick Wilson doesn't hold back. He takes aim at J.D. Vance's long list of name changes, his cozy ties to billionaire Peter Thiel, and the painfully obvious strategy Vance leans on. Don't answer real questions, just own the libs. It's heavy-handed, it's transparent, and yet Vance seems convinced this is his ticket to becoming Trump's heir apparent. Now, Trump himself is in rapid decline. We've covered that circus in other videos, but Vance clearly sees an opening. He wants the presidency the way a mosquito wants blood. The problem? A mosquito might actually make for a better politician. The reality is, Vance is widely disliked, not just by the general electorate, but even within his own party. And if he wants the top of the ticket, he'll have to go head-to-head with far more skilled politicians. Let's be honest, if there's one person quietly hoping Trump doesn't make it through his term, it's JD Vance. Because that might be the only path he has to the Oval Office. Until then, you'll probably find him right where he's most comfortable, stretched out on the couch. Apparently, that's his happy place. That wraps up today's coverage. Thanks for joining us. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss the latest updates. For more stories, analysis, and in-depth reporting, check out the other videos right here on the channel. And we'll see you next time. Same place, same channel, keeping you informed.